You right there? Got a great lesson for you. How many of you out there would like to be able to connect chords with scales and jam and improvise and make great music like this? I could do that all day long, yeah? So, but what was I doing there? How am I doing that? They're the questions I used to ask. Like, what's going on there? How'd you do that? So basically, there's a method in everything. And on the internet, you can get all the theory you want, yeah? You can read about all the scales and everything. But what they don't tell you is how to make it sound like music. Yeah, so I get people's comments saying, oh, you want to be using a flattened third or etc. or whatever, talking about scale degrees. Yeah, technically they're right. But what they're playing, does it sound any good? I don't know. So what we're talking about here is using theory, but making it sound like music. So on this sheet here, which I'm going to play, I've got a group of 4 chords, which I'm going to play. And then I've wrote a scale with a little lick next to it, which works with it. So you would get the chord, but then you would get like the scale what works. And then you can have a go at putting them together yourself. But what I'm going to do first, I'm going to play through what I've got on the sheet so you can see a great example of it. And as I said, you can get the scales, you can, but knowing how to put them together is the hardest bit. And if you like what you hear, it's all available down below in the description if you just scroll down a bit. So let me play what's written on the sheet. It's only simple. And then I'm going to tell you what I'm using there. Right, so here we go, ready? So what I played there is just which is written on the sheet. So what I've done is I've created a chord sequence in the key of G major, yeah? And I've just put some pretty chords together. First chord is G major. Then the second chord is B minor 7. Then the third chord is E minor 7. And then the fourth chord, we've got C major, yeah? Now, the thing where people go wrong, they think, oh, we're in the key of G. That means I can use the G major pentatonic all over it. Wrong, yeah? When you're playing over chord changes, you want to use the scale which relates to the chord. And as I said, that's what's on the sheet. You've got the chord, but also I broke the chord up. Because we don't just play the chord like that. It's broken up like... And then you've got the rhythm. So what you don't want to do is play the chord straight away like... We're breaking up the chord. So we've got, look, we've got... So basically you've got a chord with a bit of a bass note in it. And I'm just playing the top 2 notes of the chord. And then stabbing it. So we got... So they're not full chords, they're just part chords, and this gives you time to move to the next part, yeah? So, chord 1, we're going to use the scale which relates to the G, yeah? Then the second chord, we're going to use the scale shape which relates to the B minor. Then for the E minor 7, we're going to use the scale shape which relates to the E minor 7, and then we're going to use the scale shape which relates to the C. But what I've done them in licks, and I've wrote next to the, above the lick, what the scale is and what the notes are, yeah? So you can see, that's what you use for that. So for the next chord, the B minor 7, you've got a lick, which you can muck around and change it yourself, yeah? But remember, it's musical, and then you've got the scale, what you can use, and then you've got the notes. All the information you can find out, but what you've got here is putting it together in a musical sense, or just so it's just not bland and it's not sounding good. That's the idea. That's the only way I could describe it in a simple way. So if you want the sheet, it's available down below, and check it out and see what you think. See you later, yeah? Bye.